me a favor, close the door behind me, please. The drone show. The drone show. We are going to update you on the newest and most gracious donations to the drone donation fund, which has been updated since yesterday. We're going to tell you that ripple effect, aka Elamite, has the honor of being the newest donor to the drone foundation, the drone fund, baby. And we are up to, I'm going to let you hang on for a minute. You're not going to believe the amount of money we have collected for a drone that everyone said I would never buy. And to be honest with you, when I was up to about $100 in donations, I went out and spent $2,300 on a drone and a drone phone. So, for those of you who said he'll never buy a drone, and then added to that, he'll never know how to use the drone is right here. That's $1,350 with the extra battery. Oh, I forgot to add, I bought another intelligent battery yesterday, so it's $1,450 with the extra battery. Honey, give me this box here. This 6-way battery charger. It fell on the floor. There's a 6-way battery charger here. There's the case for the drone case. Honey, give me the case. I have my assistant here. She's getting ready to eat breakfast. And then we're going to sing. So this case here is a case that holds 3 intelligent batteries or regular drone batteries. It also holds 8 sets of propellers. It holds the controller that comes with the Mavic Air 2S. It holds an assortment of cables. And I want to tell you people that when you get a drone, the cables that come with the drone are probably the only cables that will work to connect the drone, which is a port in the back here. There's a USB port in the back. Probably the only cables on the side, probably the only cables that will work to connect the drone to the controller. Now I'm going to go through again what's available for controllers and what DJI recommends you buy for a phone. Because I will tell you right up front, Android phone 11 and 12 do not work with the Mavic Air 2, the Mavic Air 2S, and the Mavic Mini 2. They don't work. And then I'm going to go one step further and tell you that the smart controller, which this is not, the smart controller has a screen here. It's $1,260. It says the smart controller is not sold in the Philippines. So I had to look for where it's available. It's available on Amazon, but they won't ship it to the Philippines. So I didn't order it. But then I researched the smart controller on a Google YouTube search. The smart controller for $1,260, which is the controller with the screen right here. That controller 100% does not work with the Air 2, the Air 2S, or the Mini 2. It only works with the Mavic Air 3. And there is no future literature that they're going to modify the smart controller for the next generation of drones. So you can go out and spend $1,260 for the smart controller, but there's no guarantee it's going to be modified if there's a Mavic 4 or a Mavic 5, that there's going to be an update for that. Could be a whole different controller. So my suggestion is to see what drones the smart controller works with. And right now, I only know for a fact it works with the Mavic Air 3. I don't know about anything else. So it's not really a viable option to buy that. So getting on, this bag, this box is fireproof and it's explosion proof. And the reason is, if you're going to travel on an airplane or a ship or a boat that has battery restrictions, it has to be in a fireproof and explosion proof case. So this case was $50 on Lazada, $50. They have bigger cases. I'm not sorry I didn't buy a bigger case, but they have bigger cases. This case will not hold all the peripherals that I have with this drone. It'll hold 2 batteries, and it has a charger cable to charge up 1 battery at a time. So the 6-way charger that I have here, this was an additional $50, 50 US dollars, and this will charge up 6 separate items. It'll charge up 3 batteries all at one time, not 4, 3. It'll charge up the phone, it'll charge up the controller, and it'll charge up the drone. So it really is charging 4 batteries because 1 is in the drone. This is a 6-way charger, major, powerful milliamp processor in here. So now, what else I got with this drone that people said I would never buy? I ordered an intelligent extended 5,000 milliamp battery for the day I ordered the drone. And 5,000 milliamps is 1,500 milliamps more than the standard drone battery. So theoretically, it would give you 50% more fly time, which would have brought it up to 46 minutes, probably 43 minutes at the end of the day, realistically. And they sent me a typewriter ribbon in its place. That battery that I ordered, that people said I would never buy the drone or the peripherals or anything like that, the battery I ordered was $240. And they sent me a typewriter ribbon after 6 phone calls to Lazada, 3 correspondence to the seller. They agreed to take the battery back only because of, well, it just took that long. There was no argument. And once you fulfill your obligation to them by sending them 2 pictures of the item that they shipped incorrectly, and then you write down why you're shipping the item back, and then the order number and the your address and personal information with a phone number, they accepted it right away. They said 3 days for a response. It was 4, but they accepted it. It's back. My credit card will be reimbursed. That was one thing, the battery, the intelligent battery. And then I ordered another one yesterday, but not the intelligent high power battery. I ordered a standard battery. Now let me tell you something about buying batteries for your drone. Okay. There's a battery that fits in the drone. We're going to open this up in a minute. The battery that comes with the drone says 34 minutes of flight time. Probably it won't last 28 minutes of flight time. That's perfect conditions, minimal speeds, no wind. No wind. So it's for a drone that's hovering like in your living room without flying forward or back or up or down. It's 34 minutes. Once you start moving it around, you're going to get about 27 or 28 minutes out of the battery. So let me show you the drone. This is the Air 2S. I'll go over the details of the Air 2S, why I eventually settled for this and sent back the Mavic Mini 2. Okay, so the first thing you do is you take your propeller strap, security strap off. And the first thing is, this is the bottom of the drone where the gimbal is, with the camera with the 1-inch sensor. Turn it right side up. First, this is how you open it up. You open it up. The top wings open up out, left and right, out. You grab it by the top, and the bottom wings, you pull straight down towards the earth. Okay, straight down. Now you have four sets of propellers. Two of them have an orange notice, or an orange. Two of them have an orange circle on the propeller and an orange stripe on the motor. So that's, you have to note that. In the back, this one is no orange stripe. That's because they change, the direction of the rotors change. So two have no orange stripe, and the opposing propeller, diametrically opposed propellers, have an orange stripe. You have to put the orange with the orange, the black with the black. That's number one. Number two, inside this case is a 1-inch sensor and a 12 megabyte camera that will basically allow you to see as far as 100 feet away. You'll be able to see a person's face with clarity. This drone camera allows you to video in 1080, 120 frames per second, or 4000 at 30 frames per second, or 60 frames per second. And then it goes up one more notch to 5000 at 30 frames per second. Okay, so the camera is an excellent camera. It's compared to the Mavic Air 3, but the Mavic Air 3 is 3 times the price. So this drone and the Mavic Air 3 are almost identical in every way except the following. This drone has bottom sensor right here, 2 sensors on the bottom. It has a landing light, or a light that you can see it when it's descending. So does the Mavic 3. This drone has 2 sensors in the back for backing up. They're called optical avoidance sensors. So does the Mavic 3. This drone has 2 sensors in the front. So does the Mavic Air 3. This drone has 2 sensors that sense vertical climb, ascending. The drone is ascending up towards the sky. So does the Mavic Air 3. So the big difference between this drone and the Mavic Air 3 is that on the side of this drone, there is no obstacle avoidance sensors. None. Not on the starboard, not on the port. Okay, so for $2,000 more, you get what is called, on the Mavic Air 3, omnidirectional avoidance sensors. On this drone, you do not get omnidirectional, you get 6-way. Front, back, bottom, and top. 4-way, excuse me. On the Mavic Air 3, the Mavic 3, you get 6-way. But you pay $2,000 more, but you also get an additional, your gimbal on the Mavic Air 3. It's the same gimbal, but the camera is a Hasselblad lens. This is not a Hasselblad lens. However, if you go on YouTube and you search camera quality Air 2S versus the camera quality of the Mavic 3, when they explode the view 100 times, The difference in the quality of the photography for pictures and video is almost negligible. It almost doesn't exist. However, if you were a professional, this is known as a drone, a hobbyist consumer drone, consumer, consumer drone. The Mavic Air 3 is known as a PRO, prosumer drone, because it has a better camera and it has the sideway obstacle avoidance. So you have to make a choice. If the side avoidance sensors are important to you, and that little tiny bit, to the average person without glasses, Canoy in the Philippines, thank you. Daisy is right here. She's having her kaun, breakfast. She was gutom. Yeah, Daisy?
Yeah.
Yeah. When she's done having breakfast, she'll make her guest appearance. So, if it matters to you that you're going to do photography for, I don't know, professionally, it's suggested you get the Mavic 3. But if you don't know how to operate all the sensing apparatus in the camera, you're not going to see the difference at all. Like, you take a picture of a rock formation 200 feet away. If you don't have the ISO, and if you don't have the distance set up, and if you don't have the frames per minute, and you don't have the right filter on the camera, you're not going to see a difference. Only difference is going to be the side avoidance sensors. So for the people that said I would never buy a drone, I collected $100 in Super Chat towards the purchase of a drone to drone the Philippines, one island at a time. That's the best way to do it. I can't be in two places at once, so we're going to start here in Bohol, and then we're going over to Cebu, and then eventually I'll work my way. Nothing I want to see in Dumaguete. However, I think I would like to do Palawan as a third option. So this drone with this battery, the case, and the additional battery was $1,460 of monies that I spent. Now I'm going to tell you, after I collected $100 for the drone and heard all kinds of nonsense day one that I'd never buy a drone, I said, you know what, let me just go get this drone. $100 isn't going to make a difference either way. By the end of the second day of collecting monies for the Drone Foundation, I had $850 US in the drone fund. Yesterday, another $26 was added by ripple effect, which brings me up to a grand total of $876 towards the drone fund. I have outlay $1,450. That leaves $600. I'm in a deficit for $600 for the drone fund. I expect to make that all back when I start droning Cebu. Don't forget the orange soda and donuts. That's right, the orange soda and donuts. When I start to drone Cebu, especially the beaches, the beautiful beaches in Cebu, I expect those funds to jump exponentially. Now, the setback of buying the Air 2S is quite simply the controller. Honey, give me the controller. Never mind. Just open that box up, please. Hold on a minute. The controller does not work with an Android phone. So this is the setback. On top of the $1,450 that I spent for the drone, and I'm in a deficit of $600 at this point, I also had to, according to the DJI website, if I want to make this drone fly, it will not fly with my Android Galaxy 21 Plus phone. It won't fly with that. Android 11 and 12 doesn't work with this drone and this controller. So DJI's solution was to buy an iPhone. So add $900 to the $1,450. I now have $2,350 invested into a drone. And now I'm going to tell you about Lazada, and then we're going to sing for the ripple effect. Elamite, excuse me. DJI says if you want this drone to work, buy an iPhone. That's their solution. It's on their website. It comes from their customer support. So, let me tell you a little story about Lazada, and then we'll get on with the show. Lazada, when I pushed the button last Sunday, which was the 1st, right, I think, said you will have your phone between the 1st and the 3rd of August. They said that. They said it. They sent me a mail about 1 second after you push proceed to payment. 1 second after you pay, they send you a message that your drone phone or your iPhone will be here between the 1st and the 3rd. On the 2nd, they sent me a message saying that your iPhone will be here between the 3rd and the 5th. Please make sure someone is home between the hours of 9 a.m. and 10 p.m. between the 3rd of August and the 5th of August. On the 4th of August, Lazada updated their delivery date to between the 5th of August and the 10th of August. And they said, please make sure someone is home between the 5th and the 10th between 9 a.m. and 10 p.m. Now that's ridiculous. This phone is in Manila. It's 250 miles away. Planes come to Bohol twice a day from Manila. Okay, between the 5th and the 10th. On the 6th of August, Lazada sent me a message saying your phone will arrive between the 7th and the 11th of August. And please have somebody home between the hours of 9 a.m. and 10 p.m. for the 7th, the 8th, the 9th, the 10th, and the 11th. For the next 5 days, they want somebody home. That's absurd. Now, I had to be home. I could have went to Cebu to go disco dancing with the Big E, but I didn't do that because I want that phone. I have a lot of money invested into this, and I want to go to Cebu this week. So we might be able to incorporate some disco dancing with my trip to Cebu, but I also need 2 or 3 days of drone practice before I go to Cebu. So that is my plan, to disappear from Bohol for a couple of days and go to Cebu and drone Argo, ARGO, which is the lower portion of Cebu, where the whale sharks originate, the whale shark snorkeling and dive trips are. And I think I'd like to go see the whale sharks. So I may be able to bring the drone down to the bottom end of Cebu. And then I don't know much about where I can fly the drone at the port of Cebu, but I do imagine there'd be places to fly it because it's mostly warehouse and industrial around there. I think that would be cool. And then, of course, we're going to go up to the top end of Cebu and ET drone home. And with my phone, the phone drone with my phone. That's what I meant to say. So we are going to blog one island at a time, Daisy and I, and that's the plan. So I'm going to put this down. Thanks, honey. I'll show you this 6-way charger. This is a really cool charger. And what's good about this is you can charge all 3 batteries at once. It has the power to charge 3 batteries at one time. So this is the 6-way charger. Let me give you the Daisy. Do me a favor, honey. I dropped this wire here. I don't want to step on it. Right over by my feet. Thank you. This charger is made by a company called right here. StarTech?
Start RC.
Staric. Let me just show it to you. Staric. It's a crazy name. Okay, so Staric. STARIC, yeah? Staric. Well, anyway, you can. It's made for DJI batteries. So that's another thing. If you start buying off-brand batteries and chargers that are not compatible with your batteries, you're going to reduce the battery life. I don't know why, but you will. It says it. If it says it, I almost believe it. I believe DJI when they said, if you want your drone to work, you got to buy an iPhone, because I just got off the phone with Gorgeous George. And George said the same thing. He has an iPhone. His drones work fine. So this is a 6-way charger. And from this charger, you will have 6 wires coming out for your phone, 2 phones, 2 batteries, 3 phones, 2 batteries, your controller, 2 different controllers, 2 batteries, a phone, and a gadget. And it's about this big. The brick is a little bit bigger than the pack of cigarettes and twice as thick. So this was a $50 option. Also have pontoons, Daisy. There's a box over there. Right there, white box somewhere. See it? Maybe in here? A white box? My assistant, a bigger box than that. Let me see. No bigger box?
White?
I'm confused there. It's a bigger box, honey. I'm not sure where it is.
This?
No, it's not that one. It's not in that plastic container. In this, in here, maybe behind here, front, no. A white box? No more? All right, well, I can't find my pontoons. Anyway, the pontoons were $10. So this is, so altogether now we have $2,350 invested into drones just so that I can blog the Philippines for you, baby. And I'm going to do exactly that. What my goal is to blog every island in the Philippines. Because what I've noticed is that these drone videos, oh God, they get a lot of views. They get a lot of views. And no one has properly droned Bohol that I've seen. I've not seen a single video from Bohol, especially the beach right behind my house. So the beach behind my house is one of the most beautiful beaches in the Philippines. So we are going to drone from here to the end of the island, where they're building 2 huge hotels with the crane. Excuse me. Okay, honey, go ahead. So they're building 2 huge hotels, 150 plus room hotels. We're going to go down there and drone the cranes, the jump cranes that are on there. And it's okay, honey. We're gonna blog the jump cranes. and also the beaches where they're going to put the hotels, because the beaches right now where the hotels are basically coral cliffs about 8 to 10 feet higher than the ocean. So they're going to have to remove quite a bit of the coral, if they haven't already, to make a beach. Or they could do it like they did behind Blue Water Hotel on the Alona Beach side of the island. They just notched out the coral and put steps, concrete steps down to the ocean. However, I'm going to tell you something. The Blue Water Hotel is one of the more expensive and higher star resorts in Alona Beach. And I know the fella Tony that owns it. Now he what a beautiful job he did on that complex. But the steps to get in and out of the ocean from the Blue Water Hotel, when the wind is blowing towards the shoreline from the ocean and the wind is hard, getting in and out of the beach at the Blue Water Resort on those 2-foot steps, it's pretty darn dangerous. I gotta tell you, not kidding about that. I mean, I don't know that I'd want to try to do it on a windy day. And if you go out and it's not windy swimming and you want to come back and it's windy when it's swimming, there's no like apparatus to help you get back up the steps. So anyway, on this side, it's a sheltered side, but we're going to blog it and I'll show you what I'm talking about. And my phone will be here, which is one of the, like I said, Biggie invited us out disco dancing and dinner and drinks. I don't drink. I don't dance. I don't care about dinner. But it'll be a fun night out for Daisy and Cebu when we get a time to go there. But right now, we're waiting for my iPhone, and then I got to get 2 or 3 days of drone flight time. Oh, I also ordered 1 extra set of propellers, orange and black. That was propellers. These little propellers. These little teeny propellers here. See these little propellers? These little propellers. 2 propellers. They don't weigh a half an ounce. $26 for 2 propellers. $26 for the DJI graded propellers. Now, for the battery, let me give you a piece of advice when buying a battery for a drone. Okay, so I bought the Intelligent Extended Life battery for $240. It didn't come. We went through that. They sent me a typewriter ribbon. I sent it back. Then I went to buy a battery for the DJI drone. Now they all say DJI compatible batteries, but they're not DJI batteries. And some of them list for 8,050 pesos, which is $140. Let's just say it's $135 for 1 battery, DJI compatible. Then some of them, DJI compatible batteries, these are 3,500 milliamp batteries. So some 3,500 milliamp batteries list for we'll round it up, $130. Some DJI compatible batteries from a different seller list for $140. Some DJI batteries compatible list for $150. Those are compatible batteries. Those are not made by DJI. Now, then you go to DJI batteries. DJI batteries, 3,500 milliamps, you'll see them for $150. You'll see them for $140. You'll see them for $130. Keep looking. Keep searching. There is somebody in the battery department, in the section that sells batteries. When you scroll down past page 1, 2, or 3, there is somebody at the bottom of the page 2, I think it was, that sells original DJI batteries for $110. Okay, so if you're going to buy 2 batteries, you can save $80 on 2 batteries. And those are original DJI batteries. So the prices vary depending on what the seller wants to mark them up for. There's no way to know that you can have something and you can say, I want $500 for a battery. And somebody said, well, that's a $500 battery. Let me get 2 of those. But it's just a $100 battery in a $500 battery case. I don't know but what the case looks like, but they're just charging you that much more profit. When I buy tools from Lazada, you'll see the same tool for 10,000 pesos or 20,000 pesos. Double the price, same tool, same model number, same everything. So if anybody has a question, I'll answer your questions now. And then at that point, Daisy and I, we're going to bang a pot and we're going to say thank you to the Ripple Effect, and you know who you are, and who was really Elamite, for the most generous Gcash that we've ever gotten, actually, as far as Gcash. Actually, it was our first Gcash. So it's Daisy's Gcash, but Daisy is going to accept the Gcash donations until I get a Gcash set up. So you feel free to send it. I'll just give you her number, and you guys just send all the Gcash you want to Miss Daisy May, and she'll keep just saying thank you. Thank you very much. So come on over here. let's give them the old 1-2. So we updated. We put a little bit more red, a little bit more lipstick on the stainless steel pig. And we updated the money symbol. It's a lot more noticeable now. We also added a little more red lipstick via this beautiful 100 peso magic marker that I have not been reimbursed for yet, but I know that somebody will come up with the reimbursement. Hold this pot, sweetheart. Okay, so here, let's. I tell you what we could do right now. If you feel spunky, okay, I got it. Come on over here, Daisy. Say hello. If you feel spunky for 5,000 pesos, I will put your name on this pot for a $100 donation. For a $10 donation, I'll put your mark on this pot. You tell me what your mark is. It's an X or an O. For $10, I'll put your mark on this pot. For $100, I'll put your name on this pot right here, baby. See this big spot here? There's a $100 super chat right here. For you, baby. I'll do that for you. So we're going to say thank you to Elamite. Ready?
1, 2, 3.
Thank you very much, Elamite. Salamat. You.
Salamat.
And salamat means?
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Elamite, a.k.a. the Ripple Effect. That was most generous and most kind, considering that Elamite has given us donations in another methodology as well in the past. So we're going to have to thank Elamite, a.k.a. the Ripple Effect, again for a double set of donations. So, ready? 1, 2, 3. Thank you very much, Elamite. Salamat. Oh, Elamite. Salamat. Now, Daisy's just catching up on all her sleep. Look at that. Come on over here for a minute. Right here. Come by Mikey, baby. Give me give me that $1 million smile. Look at that. Now tell me, if we had a vote, if we had to take a vote on who on YouTube has the girl with the most guapa smile, would Daisy May be in the top five? Would Daisy May be in the top five? Just a 1 for yes and a 2 for no. That's all. We're not asking you for money. We're just asking you, would Daisy May have one of the prettiest smiles on YouTube? Show him that million. Give him that. Give him that $1 million smile. Yeah, he'll get that smile up there. And I'm going to tell you something else about Daisy May's smile. That's all natural. Since birth, no cavities. Since birth, how? Not one. Not. Go ahead, show them. Not one. Not one cavity. And for all the time that I've known Daisy May, we always, her teeth are a priority. Daisy can say, I want to go to the dentist. The money goes into for the cleaning.
No, I didn't say that.
For the cleaning. Well, you did a while back, a long time ago.
You're the one who offered.
I offered. Okay, so it doesn't matter whether she asked. She doesn't ask for anything. I offered. Okay, I don't want to say that. But because then people say that I'm a simp. But Daisy's teeth, to me, are important. And since the day I met her, she wants to go to the dentist every 90 days, or we go. That's it. And that's going to continue until somebody else takes care of Daisy May. In her teeth, anyway. I could take care of her teeth for now. That's a small burden on me. And I love her teeth, actually. So let's we're getting into places we don't really want to be talking about right now. So let's go see what the consensus says. Flying circus. Hands down, Daisy May is number one, says Canoy in the Philippines. Flying circus says the best smile on the YouTube community. Thank you. Dennis Adams says number one, baby. Number one. Watch your ears, honey. Number one. Thank you, Dennis Adams. Now, let's see. Flying Circus says, hey. Dennis Adams says, hey, Canoy. So we are all in agreement. Now, whether or not she certainly, in my opinion, has the most outgoing personality that's not, shall we say, shady. She doesn't come on YouTube unless she's on YouTube with me. And then, even then, she's shy. She didn't want to be on YouTube at all when she first got back because she was tired. But now, not so much. And we've been up since, I've been up since 5 o'clock. I have a story to tell you, my 5 o'clock this morning story. Let's see about the comments. I'll let you guys read the comments for a minute. I have a story to tell you about the Philippines infrastructure. Truth Lady? What, honey?
See the toilet. It's okay? The toilet.
It's okay. So, the Truth Lady. At 6 o'clock, I was ripping the Truth Lady's ear apart with a rant. 6 o'clock this morning, but she wasn't there, so I had to leave a message. At 6:10, I was leaving a rant in a different direction on another channel altogether. Same thing about the Philippines infrastructure. I get up this morning at 4 o'clock. I was up at 4, but it was pouring rain at 4 o'clock. And I have to go to the bathroom. And I want to go to the bathroom, and I'm going to go to the bathroom. That's a fact. This isn't something we're going to put off till tomorrow. Now or never. So at 4 o'clock, I go to the bathroom, and then I had to use what water was left to wash with. Sorry. And that was it. there was no more water. So for 6 days, today is the 7th day. For 6 days, I've had the outside hose water bib on. For 6 days, I haven't shut it off. And for 6 days, we haven't had enough water come out of the hose bib to fill up a Dixie cup that you would brush your teeth with of water. We haven't had an ounce of water in 6 days. Not at the Stanley House Hotel, not at my landlord, not at my neighbor Egan, not at my neighbor Jonas, not at my neighbor, no neighbors that I walked up the block, 3 or 4 houses up the block. Nobody has had a drop of water in Dolho on this block. Today's the 7th day. So now I built a splash pad from the gutter into a 40-gallon drum at the Stanley House about during the Cyclone Odette, out of a piece of plywood I had and some straw rope, light duty plastic rope, and that splash guard that I made, the deflector, the owner of the Stanley House was a friend of mine, said, "What are you doing?" And I said, "Well, when it rains just a little bit, the water doesn't jump out far enough to go into the bucket." Oh, he said, "Okay." And I put the splash guard deflector on there. And now, even if it just rains a little bit, the water goes into the 40-gallon plastic barrel. So at 4 o'clock, I used the rest of the water. But it's not fair to have Daisy May or myself have to go to the bathroom again in an unflushed toilet. So it's pouring rain. I'm done doing my business. And I said, I got to go get water. No sooner did I walk out the door did it start to come down, torrential downpour. I'm talking the skies opened up at like 4:45 in the morning, 5 o'clock. And what I did was I emptied out that 40-gallon barrel about halfway down. I filled up my 17-gallon bucket. I filled up 2 water jugs. That's 10 more gallons. I filled up 3 5-gallon buckets, 1 4-gallon pail, the toilet, and I flushed. Because we haven't had any water in 7 days. And when I called up water company on Thursday, where, when, how are we going to get water? Sir, we're working on it, is the answer that they give you. And they're not working on it. They're not working on it. They just say they're working on it. No one knows why there's no water. Even the manager at the water department in Panglao at the municipality center does not know why there's no water. The barangay personnel, I didn't talk to the captain, he wasn't there. He did not know why there was no water, but he agreed that there was no water. So we're all in agreement that there's no water, and no one knows why there's no water. Now, the last time it was 8 days with no water. And when I called up the municipality in the city of Tagbilaran, they did not know that there was no water. In other words, Michael Fazio, after 7 days of not having water, called up the water department in Tagbilaran City and said, "Ma'am, we don't have water in Dolho. Is there a reason for that?" No one knew, because Michael Fazio was the first person in 7 days to call them up and tell them that there was no water in Dolho. No one else knew why. It's a miracle, I tell you. 5,000 people don't have water, and I was the first person to ask why we don't have water twice. It's like winning the lotto every day here when you ask a question about what's going on. Everybody will tell you you're the first person. You're the first person to ask. We haven't heard any. We don't know why there's no water. They're just so. What is the solution? There's two solutions. Three. There's three solutions. You can go to the Doggett, which is right over there, about 200 feet away. You can get water in 5-gallon buckets and use salt water, which works just fine. If you have to take a bath, you take a bath with the salt water. You take the soap down to the ocean. Everybody does it. Everybody. Every day, 500 people walk down this block and go to the ocean with a bar of soap and a rag every day. That's how we take baths now. Now you have salt water on you. You wash it off with the water. You got a rag. You get behind your ears. Wear your personal business and this, that, and the other thing in the ocean. And then you come back. Now you got to rinse off, right? So you could either rinse off with rainwater, and I have rainwater, but I put chlorine in it, crystals, or a mix. Or you can use bottled water that you pay 25 pesos per 5-gallon bottle. Or you can order a water truck and pay 1 peso per gallon. Or so if you needed 50 gallons, they'll sell you 50 gallons for 50 pesos. But you might have to wait a week for the water truck to come. That's really not an option. So the best thing to do is to have a rain barrel and collect rainwater and just throw chlorine tablets or crystals in the barrel, and that keeps out the mosquito larvae and bacteria. That's what I do. Okay, but my rain barrel is next door. So I have a big rain barrel, but I have not only needed it twice, so I use the one next door. It's no problem at the Stanley house. They don't care if I take all their water or half their water. It's there. The rain barrel is for the immediate neighbors. And that's what I was. So then at 5 o'clock in the morning, I was out there with 4-gallon buckets, shipping water from the Stanley house to my toilet, to my flushing mechanism in the toilet. And oh God, how many times have we not had water in the last year? Easily we have not had water for 30 days during Odette, not a drop of water. 8 days after that, and now 7 days. So that's 30 plus 15. It's 45 days since March 4th. Excuse me, since Hurricane Odette hit. 45 days, no water. No water at all. Now, how many days have we not had water individually? Another 30 days in between. So 75 days this year, when we turn on the water, nothing has come out of the hose bib for us up the block as far as I've asked. Nothing. Zero. Nothing at all. Not even enough water to have a glass of water. You can't drink the water here anyway. Don't do that. But, so 75 days since January would be a conservative amount of time that we don't have water here. And no one knows why. You can go to the water department. You talk to the manager of the water department. Say, ma'am, I live in Dolha. We don't have water. Do you know what? Sir, no. We don't know. Has anybody else complained? No, sir. You're the first person, sir. Well, what are you going to... Well, we'll look into that, sir. They're not going to look into it. They're going to just go... Ah. They're not going to do it. Or they don't know. We have no knowledge of... Oh, that's another favorite go-to. So do you know when we're going to have water? We have no knowledge of that, sir. Call up the water department in Tagbilaran City. You might as well be calling China. And talking about China, my iPhone is not coming from China, and now it's 8 days, 7 days. It's coming from Manila. It's 250 miles away. In America, we're not in America, but in America, if you ordered something in California, 3,000 miles away, 6,000 kilometers away, at 9 o'clock Monday morning, at 3 o'clock Tuesday afternoon, it would be at your front door. Here, 6 days, and it could be another 5 days, could be 11 days to go 250 miles. It could come in 30 seconds from now. They won't tell you. It's a secret. I'm going to check my mail. I don't see any mail. Let me go to my home page. Let me refresh this page. That is the number 4. That's live. Let's go check my mail. Oh, God, there's so many things that don't work the way we're not Western world works here. It's an amazing thing. We're LOL working on it, says Canoe in the Philippines. Means out of stock, sir. Oh, God, that's another standard in. You know, that's not good business. Okay, so I wanted to buy a hydraulic, air-actuated hydraulic 10-ton jack, and I went to Build-A-Web. Well, they don't sell them at Build-A-Web, but I didn't know that. So I said, do you have air-operated hydraulic jacks? Yes, sir. And he was absolutely sure about it. Come with me. So I went with him. And you know what he showed me? And I'm not kidding. You can believe what you want. He showed me when you jack up a car with a hydraulic jack, there's a jack that has dogs in it. Okay? And it goes up in gear. It's a gear jack. And as you jack up the car, you bring the stanchion from the jack up into the next notch. It can't break. It won't slip out. Like a hydraulic jack, you could blow a seal. A regular jack could slip out from underneath the machine. But these stand on a 4-way pad, and it's dogged off. It's not gonna slip down. It's not gonna break. As long as you use a 2-ton jack for a 2-ton car, it'll work just fine. So he brings me over to the floor stanchion dogged gear jacks. I said, no, sir, I want an air-operated hydraulic jack. Sir, this is a jack, because it says jack on it. So they don't really know what they don't know all the words in English, and that's okay, because I know I don't know what the jack is in Visayas. What's the word for jack in Visayas? Car jack, Daisy?
The same.
What?
It's the same. We don't have a Bisaya word.
They don't have a Visayas word for jack, Daisy just said. So jack is jack.
Yeah.
Unless you're Jack Thompson, but so jack is jack. So air, oxygen, air. How do you say air in Visayas?
Hung in.
Hung in. Hung in. I should have asked for a hung in jack. Hung in. Okay, so there you go. Now, when I went to the manager, because I thought maybe there'd be another place, the Build-A-Ware's a big place. Do you have air-operated hydraulic jacks? Out of stock, sir. He don't even know what it is. But he didn't know what it was, so it's got to be out of stock. Welcome. And that's why they have the expression, welcome to the Philippines. Wait, no, the water bill is very accurate. Actually, my water bill is paid for 2 more years in advance. So I never have to go to the water department and ask them another question. Bob C's channel. Thanks for stopping. Nothing moves fast in the Philippines. Packages or people. LOL. That's true. So We are good to go with water. Oh, yeah, of course. I told you I use chlorine, right? I put chlorine in the water. So this week I go to the pool supply to get chlorine, and the pool supply is out of stock for chlorine. They have no stock. For the second week in this month, the second time I visited, they have no stock. No stock, sir. Okay, thank you. When do you think you're going to get chlorine in? Sir, we don't have that knowledge. They just say it like that because they don't know how to say I don't know. If they say I don't know, that's like them admitting that they didn't know something. So they won't say that. We don't have that knowledge. That's a good way of putting it. Very diplomatic. And then of course you could ask, what knowledge do you have? And they would say, we don't have that knowledge either. We don't have the knowledge to know what knowledge we do and don't have until the time comes. And what time is that? Well, there's a person in this world that I met about 3 months ago. He controls the time. He controls the time. He told me, I control the time. You abide by my time. I control the time. You appear and disappear when I tell you what time it is. You don't complain that I'm 2 hours late because I control the time. That's a true story. Daisy's laughing because she knows I'm telling the truth. I got yelled at because somebody didn't show up for 2 hours, and when I said, where were you? I got yelled at because he's in charge of the time. I was like flabbergasted. I thought somebody else controlled, but I saw a movie, The Time Tunnel. I don't know. Somebody got no. That's been updated to the guy I met. He controls the time, and I met another guy that's in control of something else altogether. Now, the first guy who controls the time doesn't know how to tell time. Therefore, his time is the only time that matters. In other words, if he's late, that's what time it was supposed to happen. If he's early and you're not there, you weren't paying attention to the time. And if you think I'm kidding you, I'm not kidding you. The other guy, he controls something else altogether. He's in charge of something very important. Very, very important. And when he tells you he's going to do something that's very important, and then doesn't do it, it's because it couldn't get done. Did you understand that? I'm going to do this. Definitely going to happen. But then when it doesn't get done and you expect it to have gotten done and it didn't get done, you say, what happened? Don't push me. Don't push me. It didn't happen. It'll happen next week. So when you're ordering things here in the Philippines and you pay for it in advance and they promise you a date when it's going to get delivered, don't pay any attention to that. Just like now I'm looking at my mail and no update on my phone. Bob C's channel is back. Philippine, I'll tell you that story too. This happened just a few weeks ago. Philippines have no, I'm gonna tell you how the guy that controls time explained it to me when I finally needed an explanation, Bobsy. Filipinos have no sense of time, being on time, or knowing that it's important to actually be on time, LOL. For a while. See, now Flying Circus has lived here. They don't even say, please wait for a while. They just say, for a while. You say, they tell you to sit down, lingkod. And you say, how long? For a while. You, they did that to me in the bank. I talked about that last week. They told me for a while, sit, and when I waited a half an hour at the bank for them to make an account for Daisy and I, this goes back to 2016, I said, how long do I have to wait? Sir, the computers are down. I said, you told me to wait. Yes, sir, for a while. Maybe the computers will come back on. Today, that meant. So if I would have waited there 6 hours, she wouldn't have said anything. We were already there a half an hour after we filled out 45 minutes worth of paper. So for a while, could be a minute or 5 hours. Okay, so now I'm in the business that I ordered something from, and he starts explaining to me about time and how he controls time. So I said to him, look, you told me to come here at 9 o'clock to pick the item up. And then he goes, did I tell you Filipino time or American time? What? 9 o'clock is not, no, you don't understand time. We have a different time here in the Philippines. If I told you 9 o'clock, I meant 9 o'clock. But did I say Filipino time or American time? Now I'm thinking the guy is kidding. I said, no, you didn't say. You didn't stipulate American. Well, then you should ask. Okay, I'm here. It's 9 o'clock. What time will it be here? We don't know. We don't have that knowledge. Well, you said 9 o'clock. Yes, but it's Filipino time. What part of this do you not understand? Filipino time can be any time. There's no set time. Filipino time is Filipino time. Do you not understand Filipino time? Well, now I do. But it would have been nice if you told me about Filipino time before I got up at 6 o'clock in the morning to get here at 9 o'clock to pick this item up. What time do you think I should come back? Maybe you come back tomorrow. Tomorrow? Yes, tomorrow. I cannot tell you what time it would be here today. It's Filipino. He kept saying Filipino time. You got to understand, he controls time. And if he doesn't tell you if it's American time or Filipino time, you have to just, for a while, as Flying Circus said, for a while you wait. Do you not understand? There's rules. And he makes the rules when it comes to time. If he doesn't say American time, it could be any time or for a while. That's the truth. You think I'm kidding you? I'm not kidding you. It's a funny skit, but when I get there, I'm there. Was it East Coast or West Coast time? Thank God they don't have different time zones here. No one would know what time it was at all. They wouldn't even be able to guess. You could throw time, you could throw darts at a dartboard with timestamps on it and get the same results as what time your package, your thing, you're going to, it's an amazing thing. So we have no water. No one knows why. The internet's been on and off 50 times since last Saturday morning. And I can tell it's off because of my computer will tell me when, the electric. The electric's been on and off 50 times at night, even for a few seconds since Saturday morning, probably 30 times, because my speaker system, if the electric goes out for a millisecond, the speaker system goes back to zero, let's say zero. You have to turn it back on. But the internet's been off 15 or 20 times since last Saturday. And that stays off for an hour, even though now if it went off, I have a double load in my phone. For you, I put a double load on the phone. But because I use up so much load to give you people this knowledge about time and Filipino time, America. You guys, you don't understand. You just don't understand this. Time is not what we grew up believing it to be. Not at all. There's Filipino time, then there's American time. Anyway, I think we're done. Daisy, would you like to sing or we're done singing? They're definitely done singing. No time for that. Come on over here, honey, and say goodbye. Thank you. So Daisy's going to come over here and say goodbye. I'll bang a pot for our previous donations. I'm going to put my drone away because my drone phone is not coming today. I don't see a message. I usually get that message by 8:30. Didn't get it. So Daisy and I will say thank you once again to Elamite. 1, 2, 3. Thank you, thank you, thank you very much, Elamite. Salamat. And of course, Amping Permi from Michael Fazio.
And this May
In the Philippines, baby. That's right. Bye-bye for now. Have a nice day, everybody. Thanks for your donations. Thanks for your stopping by the channel. And remember, we are going to vlog Pang Lao from the air first, and then we're going to Cebu. And then we're going to Palawan. Bye-bye for now. Remember, smile. Soon, you too may be on candid camera. Look up! Look up! It's a bird! It's a plane! No! It's Sky King 1, baby! And with that, I'll let you think about that for a while. For a while! For a while. Look up. It's a bird. It's a plane. No, it's Sky King 1. 1. Sky King 1.